Meeting Jesus in Guatemala, another traveler's tale by Billy and Acacia Caterly. The mountain-grown and freshly roasted coffee of Guatemala is famous around the world, and here in Panajachel-Ecatitlan, I can purchase a rich cappuccino for 10 quetzales, or about $1.25 US. For me, this is a delicious treat, and oftentimes when coming back from the market, I'll stop by one of the local cafes and get one to go. This day, however, I decided to enjoy the cappuccino slowly inside the shop while watching the action outside on the street. So I'm in the Dinosaur Café when a small boy of about 8 years approaches me to purchase some of his mother's hand-woven note cards. These lovely cards are sold by all of the children here in Pana, and some of the older kids can be quite persistent, past the point of my saying no thank you or I'm not interested today. Often they can engage in a long-winded debate with me that will last several blocks of walking through town and in the end extracting a yes maybe later response. If I ever meet that child again and don't buy a card, some will shout obscenities and accuse me of breaking a promise or of lying to them. Well, my policy now is to not to begin the conversation at all and hasten my step after I have said no thank you. It saves us both the trouble, even if it appears to be harsh on the surface. This angel of a child leaves me alone after my first no, and I am most grateful. I see him approach a gringo man with massive, wild, graying hair. This man does not buy any cards either, but instead offers him a sweet delicacy from a box he recently purchased at the gourmet shop up the street. The child, of course, waits patiently while the old man struggles with the box's wrappings, and as I watch this scene, this sweet boy sneaks a peek at me. I can't help but share a smile with him, as it seems the simple act of giving him a piece of candy has taken several long minutes, because the man cannot get the box open, and the boy and I both appreciate his energetic attempt to get this plastic shrink wrap off and open the box to reveal the fine prize inside. But did I blunder? The fact that I met this child's eyes and communicated by way of sharing a grin has now given him another fair chance to begin the bargaining game again and to approach me a second time. I am sitting in a large wicker chair that is low to the ground, and the boy is small. We are pretty much nose to nose now, and the second level of contact has been made. I did not shoo him away. He sits on the floor and begins giving me his spiel once again. I try a diversion tactic by telling him his piece of nougat looks delicious, and I'm sure he'll enjoy it. Now the boy begins speaking to me in English about how I should purchase these cards for my boyfriend, my husband, my sister, my daughter, my son, and he goes on in practiced order. I am intrigued by this child for reasons only my heart knows, and I tell him in Spanish how good his English is and ask him where he learned it. "In the street," he said proudly in Spanish. I tell him, "That's where I learned my Spanish. We have something in common." We aren't making any progress on me purchasing his note cards, so he pulls out his collection of woven bracelets. These are made from scraps of thread left over from the women's weavings, and the bracelets are about 3/8 of an inch wide and about 6 inches long, plus a tie thread on both ends. I say to him, "Oh, these are beautiful, but I don't want any," and then I touch them. I have now brought us to the third level of the bargaining process. I have made physical contact with his product. I know better than this, but I can't help myself. Once you touch something a vendor is selling, that is a move forward in the game. Every vendor knows this, even an 8-year-old child. I love textiles, and I had never seen these things up close, and I wanted to take a look. Okay, I'm up to my eyeballs in this now, so I ask him his name. "Jesus," he replies. "Did your mom make these too?" "Yes, and I give you a good price. He'll sell me the whole packet for 10Q, the price of my cappuccino. I know that's cheap, and it is a good price. I have no use for these things, and I've overpacked as it is, so whatever I purchase is one more thing I have to carry. My mind is whining to myself, and I think of purchasing them and giving them away to the next person I see, anything, now that I'm this far into the sales process. To disengage at this point is pretty rude. Then Jesus whips out another packet of bracelets just like the first one and says he'll give them all to me for 15Qs. That's just under $2. And of course that's a screaming deal too. And I still don't need the first dozen, and now I have 2 dozen. And I think, but the kid has to eat, and something besides this sugary nugget. So I say yes. His face looks like Christmas and completely lights up. I get out my small change purse and ask him on purpose, "How much did you say?" Jesus doesn't miss a beat and says 20 quetzales. "Oh no, Jesus, you told me 15. And his smile gets even larger because he knows he has not sold to a fool. This makes him very proud of his work, and he can brag about this to his mother. As I hand Jesus his 15 quetzales, he reminds me that the price he gave me was good. It's a cheap price. To him I say, "Jesus, I know. Thank you." This young man is so happy, I can't even describe it to you. He'd sold something fair and square, and he made 15Q. I don't know if he's going to go purchase a solid lunch or if he'll choose to take the money home to his mother, but the satisfaction that Jesus is feeling is written all over his body. He took my nose and was still persistent. He made a sale, and he looked like 15 quetzales was more money than he had ever seen in one location in his life. Children in these third world countries all learn to bargain and sell. It's a survival tool that they take with them into adulthood, and once learned, it can never be taken away. Their sense of self-sufficiency and self-reliance is mixed with communication skills, and parents can proudly send them out into the world knowing they can fend for themselves. This sort of training has been going on for centuries. I can only hope we are teaching our children something this useful as well. For more information on financial independence and travel, visit our website, retireearlylifestyle.com, or visit our bookstore. Thanks for listening.